KVGC News Time, 7 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Time for a look at the news for May 18th, 2017. Now, there's the latest updates on the Main Street Jackson fire. Crews continue to work to locate all hot spots within the building. The investigation is also underway. Resources are being released back to their own jurisdictions at this time. Main Street remains closed and will continue to be for some time. Now, we remind you that, again, this is to both vehicles and pedestrians. The occupants of 2 apartments were displaced, and a total of 3 businesses suffered damage. Richard and Sherry's, the Main Street Emporium, and Lucas. The fire was first reported about 1:30 today, and again continued to burn until about 4 o'clock when the fire was brought under control. But once again, Main Street is closed just north of Court Street all the way to Broadway. Again, please stay clear of the area. There are still multiple fire units on the scene, and again, they will remain there throughout the morning. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
Well, CAL FIRE and local units rolled to a reported wildland fire in the area of Goodell Road in Rancho Paloma in Calaveras County yesterday. First reported just after 4:30 in the afternoon at about 2 acres. The fire grew to 5 acres before crews could bring it under control about 6 p.m. Now, an escaped debris burn was the reported cause of the fire. Again, the reminder goes out from fire agencies: only burn on permissive burn days. Never burn a pile larger than 4 foot by 4 foot. Make sure you have a water source nearby, and never leave a fire unattended.
A Glencoe man has been identified as the man killed in a 2-car collision on Highway 26 on Tuesday. According to the CHP, 57-year-old Dale Gundy was driving on Highway 26 west of Stormy Lane at 1:48 on Tuesday afternoon when he crossed onto oncoming traffic. Another vehicle coming the other direction was unable to avoid him, and they collided head-on. Gundy was extricated, but died at the scene. The occupants of the other vehicle suffered minor injuries and escaped their vehicle before both vehicles caught fire. The fire spread to grass alongside the road and was extinguished before spreading too far.
And more details have been released on that big grade crash that blocked Michigan Bar Road for a time on Tuesday. The crash happened on I.O. Michigan Bar Road west of Carbondale at about 11:15 on Tuesday morning. According to the CHP, 47-year-old Rick McGlumphy of Roseville was driving a big rig hauling hazardous materials when he became distracted and allowed his vehicle to run off the roadway. He turned to get back on the road and lost control. The rig rolled over. He suffered minor injuries. The road was closed for about 12 hours to allow for removal of hazardous materials.
Well, a charter bus lost control yesterday, causing it to overturn on Highway 12. According to CHP, the incident took place around 3:30 near the Toyon Circle intersection in Calaveras County. Crews rushed to the scene with medical aid for the passengers who received minor injuries in the accident. Now, detours were set up down Highway 12 at 26 near Toyon Middle School and Highway 12 at 49 outside San Andreas. The roadways were cleared after about 3 hours of work. Highway 12 is open to travel.
Assemblyman Frank Bigelow says he will fight to keep the Future Farmers of America funded. According to reports, Governor Brown's May revision of the state budget eliminates funding for the popular program. Many local kids join FFA to learn the agricultural industry, and Bigelow says that he will work with his colleagues in the Assembly to keep funding alive for FFA, saying that FFA is one of many vital career technical education programs that educates, guides, and encourages our youth.
Stamp Out Hunger, a great success. The collaborative effort between the U.S. Postal Service, Amador County Sheriff's Office, and Interfaith Food Bank resulted in about 5,500 pounds of food being collected. The generous donations from local residents were picked up at local post offices and have been handed over to the Interfaith Food Bank for distribution to residents in need.
Well, a gymnasium full of Amador High School students got a strong and direct message about the perils of drunk driving. The assembly started with actual court sentencing of Amador County residents arrested for DUI. Now, that was followed by a panel discussion with several local law enforcement and community representatives. Then, students also heard the story of Casey Goodwin. Casey was a 20-year-old sober driving advocate killed in 2003 by a high school senior who was driving drunk. The story was told by her mother, Lynn. Now, Lynn told us here at KVGC she hopes not only the kids, but the parents get the message.
Because sometimes what they walk away with from these kinds of events, every 15 minutes especially, is the impression that the worst thing that could happen is my kid could drink and drive and get in a crash. And while I'm here to testify that's horrific, providing alcohol in your home so that they don't have to drive isn't the answer. And providing alcohol to other people's kids isn't an option. You don't get to make that choice for other parents.
Amador County Superior Court Judge Steve Hermanson was there to hand down the sentences, as well as participate in the panel discussion. He told us it's important for the students to see a sentencing in real life.
I think it's very important. I think that when you look at how do you change behavior in the future to keep people from actually ending up in the criminal justice system, you've got to educate them. And the time to educate them is when they're in their youth. And there's been some studies in regards to drug abuse and other things that really showed the only effective means of dealing with those situations were to actually hit the people when they were in high school and younger. And so it's a matter of giving them an idea that there's consequences for their choices. And they get to see that it's not a game, that they're real people. People that are getting sentenced aren't on a TV show or something else. They're real people that have real jobs, real lives, and things happen to them. They made a bad choice. So hopefully the kids learn that next time they're going to make a better choice. They don't put themselves in that situation. And if there's consequences.
Well, the presentation is held every year around this time as local youth get ready for the summer.
Don't forget, Miss Amador Scholarship entries are due Monday. If you or a friend or a relative want to compete for some great scholarships and the honor of being named Miss Amador 2017, you have to file your application by 5 p.m. on Monday. Thousands of dollars in scholarship money are given to the winners and runners-up every year through the competition. You can get a list of the rules for entry and more in a packet at AmadorCountyFair.com and follow the links to the Miss Amador Scholarship competition. Also, if you need more information, contact Kim Toma at 209-267-0369, Lori Halverson at 209-607-2736, or the Fair office at 209-245-6921. Again, that's 209-245-6921.
And speaking of the fair, the 4-day run of the Calaveras County Fair and Jumping Frog Jubilee begins today. It's Kids Day, so kids 12 and under get in for free. Everyone else, it's $10. They have lots of things to do for kids today and to see, including the junior livestock activities, free frog jumping for kids 12 and under, and, of course, the carnival. And tonight, the Miss Calaveras Scholarship Pageant. That starts about 8 o'clock on the main stage. Once again, to bring you up to date, crews continue to work to locate all the hotspots within the buildings that burned this morning here on Main Street. The investigation into the cause is underway. At this time, Main Street will remain closed and will continue to be so for some time now. The road is closed basically from about the Chamber office or Eldorado Savings parking lot down to Water and Broadway past the National Hotel. Well, that's a look at local news on a Gold Country Thursday morning from the KVGC News Center.
I'm JD.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Jim Geedy reporting.